In a world where we are surrounded by people comparing their life goals and achievements with others through the means of social media, sometimes the pressure can be put on you to feel like you need to be at a certain point in your life by a certain age. But let me tell you just for a second, that is not the truth. The truth is, you will never be where you want to be. Sometimes you'll be further along, and other times you'll be redirected for your own best interest. So here are 5 life tips that I wish I knew in my 20s coming from someone who is in their early 30s. Number 1, it's okay not to have everything figured out. We always think that we need to know what's the next steps in life and career and love and to be on a certain timeline. But the reality is that's never how it works out. Sometimes the unexplained and the unplanned things in life is what makes life so fulfilling. That unexpected friendship that you make through a job that you never stay at, that relationship that you think is just going to be casual that turns into the love of your life, that career change that you ultimately needed to do out of needing to find more, turning into your long-term career goal. There's always redirection, and that happens for our highest good. So sometimes you just got to go with the flow and just trust in the path ahead. And so number 1, just really knowing that it's okay not to have everything figured out. Just live life more day by day, setting goals for yourself 1 to 5 years ahead of time. But ultimately knowing that it's through the goals that we set and the changes that happen that lead to more happening sometimes, unexpected surprises, beautiful things happening that you could have never even fathomed or dreamed of. So it's okay to not have everything planned out, but just give yourself a certain amount of a guideline. Number 2 is to always hold on and value the friendships and the people that you care about the most. Because one thing that is hard to change is reforming or rebuilding those bonds once they've been broken. Everyone goes through it. Everyone goes through breakups, anxiety, sad times, redirections, times where you don't feel like being so social. But we're all going through that. So it's always important to value those family and friend relationships that you've had long term or that mean a lot to you, because it's a lot harder to repair those relationships with the people you care about once they've felt disconnected or kind of like they didn't mean anything to you. So it's hard for people to understand. Sometimes you could be going through a difficult breakup and not feeling like your most social self. They could mistake that as you feeling as though you've outgrown them. And sometimes when people are busy in their lives and they lead to themselves, to their own success, their own happy, their own families, that can be harder to mend in the long run. So it's always important to maintain those friendships that really truly mean something to you and to be able to just make people feel appreciated. Because you got to remember, if you're going through a breakup, there's probably someone in your friends group that is going through the same thing. And if they are choosing to not want to reconnect with you and you feel like you've lost touch with certain people from high school, from old jobs, from 5, 10, 20 years ago, this leads me to number 3. No response is a response. If someone purposely starts ignoring you or ghosts you or gaslights you, whether that be a friendship, an opportunity, or a relationship, no response is a response. Stop overgiving yourself. Stop trying to make someone see the value in you or what you bring to a relationship or friendship with them. If someone purposely chooses not to want to give you their time, energy, and effort, then why keep spending yours? Realize that life is very valuable. Life is short, and most importantly, your energy and your time is worth more than anyone who could leave you with no response. So if you feel like you have totally lost touch with a person or relationships ended or even a career opportunity and you aren't hearing back from that person or that opportunity or that relationship, no response is the biggest response. That silence allows you to know that that person does not view you or the connection between you as great as maybe you do. And it's okay just to forgive and to move on and to cherish the good times that you maybe once shared in the past. Very important to always understand where another person's coming from too, because like I said in number 2, if you've been the person to kind of make someone feel as though they didn't hold space enough in your life, or in your heart, sometimes they'll purposely leave you with no response so that you feel that energy back. And that in itself is an answer for you. So it's very important to go out and make sure you value those friendships or relationships in your life and make time for people who truly value and appreciate you back. And if they don't, that's okay. There's lots of other people out there that truly would be grateful to call you a friend or be grateful to call you a partner. Number 4, your career isn't permanent. I'll never forget that in high school, there was someone who came in and spoke to the class and said about how the average person changes their career 5 to 10 times in their lifetime. At the time, I didn't fathom that to be true. I thought there's no way, maybe 2, 3 careers. Hold that thought, okay? Majority of people don't even end up in the career that they went to secondary school for. And even if they did, they end up in a different section of that career. So when you're in your 20s or early in life or just in general, remember that your career is never permanent. Sometimes people get too stressed out by not having enough, or if you didn't get the job you once want and you get re-put somewhere else, or you don't hear back from a certain interview. Trust that everything happens for a reason. And ultimately too, even if you go through job loss, job change, that is just a part of life. And all the lessons along the way in the journey is what teaches you to become in the career that you feel happy in. So if you are working a job that makes you uncomfortable or unhappy in the slightest, don't be afraid to change it. Don't be afraid to go after what you want, because majority of people will change their career multiple times in their life. And it's because you're meant to learn different lessons about yourself, pick up different skills and trades, and also to develop more character in your work and career space. So just remember that a job is never permanent. And also don't get too wrapped up in the idea of that's all you're going to do for the rest of your life. Unless it's something you want to do, then that's great. Keep aiming to be in the same career field or job title per se. But remember too, if you're ever unhappy in a career setting or a workspace, that more likely than not, that is not your permanent space. You will most likely switch up your career. And just remember that careers are never permanent. How many people too do you hear of going back to school in their late 20s and 30s, upgrading their degrees, going back, trying out a different career? That's the thing about life too. Usually when you're in your 20s, you really don't have it all figured out what you want to do, where you're going to go. And it's not until your 30s or maybe even your 40s. I can't yet speak on experience, but that's when you'll start to really figure out what makes you happy, what career do you feel like you really excel at, and where are you most needed. Because also too, as the world's changing, jobs are ever changing, career fields are ever changing, the way that things are done are ever changing. So just remember that no career space is ever permanent. So before you get too uncomfortable or too comfortable, always have a backup plan as well, and always be aware of something else that may be out there for you. Number 5 has all to do with health and wellness. Health and wellness is a lifestyle. There's going to be times in your life where you feel like you are on top of your game, super fit, working out, eating the best. And there are other times where you feel like you are going through it. And going to the gym may not be your top priorities. One thing that's important to remember is it's great to always live a healthy, lifestyle, but that is something that is a lifelong journey. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not only supposed to happen for a certain amount of years. In order to see longevity in your life, always remember that health and wellness is a true lifetime lifestyle and something that should always be implemented in your life. So if you find you to be someone who struggles with going to the gym, make those good choices that make you feel your best or look your best. And also too, it's always about just feeling confident within yourself. But the biggest thing with wealth and wellness is if you want to live a long, happy, stress-free life, make sure that you practice regularly, exercise, eating well, drinking lots of water, and choosing to live a healthy lifestyle. Those are 5 things that I wish I knew in my 20s.